This one's called This one's called and this one's called context. I'm setting you up to slide with me and Alice down the rabbit hole. There's a line to be crossed, and I'm the boss, so listen. This is not how I thought it would be. It's improvised. There's no safety net. I don't know what I'm going to say. Next. And I'm clearly afraid of nothing. Spaceman on the moon, I'm tuning. Waiting for the static to make. Waiting for the static to make comprehensible patterns, a lattice work of action and reaction. This is a context, this is a pretext, I'm setting you up. There's a whole lot of subliminal, subtextual messages you may not be getting, so just keep listening. Keep looking. And when I say fly and fall, I'm setting you up to fly and fall with me down the rabbit hole to the sea of eternity that lies underneath this man. His name is Stan today, and tomorrow it may be Barnaby. So we're all looking together. It's just that I'm looking a little differently to you, perhaps. This is my home, my context, my house that moves and grooves through space and time. Now and then I'll find a rhyme that fits, bits and pieces, fragments of thesis pushed and pulled to release seductive scent or a sense of something potent, pounding. I'm waiting for astounding things to happen. With all 7 senses open. Receiving. And believing that there is more than one way to skin a cat. Stan knows he has a hat made of it. Looks something like I'm waiting for a whole lot more. And it's over here. So now, feel free to feel the fear and do it anyway, and come with me. This is the way to go. When I say follow me, volg mij gewoon. We were wrapped up in each other like some kind of we took for granted. We started chanting mantras on the back of each other, writing lyrics on each other's spines. We wrote lines of poetry along the traces of you and me, flowing from one feeling to another. The songs we played, the songs of lovers lost in a sea of something green. something growing. We were wrapped up in poetry, wrote lines of lyrics along spines and bits of body parts. We broke each other's hearts so hard. The shards were left all over the floor and we had to leave them all behind. And all that was left were icebergs, penguins, other fish and things that we didn't want. They were icicles forming tarantulas, torturing each other with words, forcing. I had one of those at home. A cold lump in my heart. I didn't want to take your brain apart. I just wanted to say, I'm sorry. You know, that poetry that we wrote, I burnt it. And I hoped that you wouldn't notice. And I learned my lesson. I don't write poetry anymore. This one's called Her. She. She had something missing. She wound her lines around men's hearts and she was kissing them. Parts of her that she wasn't really sure had anything good to say. Shapeless form, she was holding all her powers, seducing by the hour. She made eternal mystery happen for those who had dollars and sense of justice. your heart. And that was where she was where she thought she would start making a fortune, and then she realized that the blue and green of the rainbow made circles, but the absence of thought, she'd forgotten she ought to be feeling something. And she wasn't. She was pleasantly puzzled. She wondered why the center was wrong, why the fire had gone out. She had doubts running through her brains, and she put on a smile and said, "Baby, just listen to my tail spinning." But there was something still missing. are all sponges. Some of us are sucking up more than we can hold, an entire meal of feelings without dealing with their own. I'm spitting out pain now. There's so little to gain from being swallowed whole. It's clear. I took without a backwards look at my future. I gave and gave and gave, and you wonder why I crave silence. Space. We are all sponges, and I don't want to forget or deny empathy. It's just right now I'm too empty, or rather too full of you. So now I'll take space to finally embrace who you are fully, to see you with clear eyes, because when you're too close, you're out of focus, larger than a lifetime of dishes. You want to be clean, I understand, but mopping up the floor with me is not an option. I'm tired of soaking up the spilt milk of our relationship. It's no use crying. I'm not dying to be your or their teddy bear, absorbing anger or fear, just making it clear so you know where I stand. Firmly. I'm hanging up my soul by the fire to dry where anger's burning. But not too close. Learning resistance by distance, making way for others to feel. I'll heal myself. What if you would eat with words, and all that would come out were birds with blue feathers? What if the weather were always great in Antwerp and you hated good weather? What if you were clever enough to change it all back to black? Like Amy. What if you were crazy enough to make blue become fluorescent pink? flabbergastingly flat? What if you thought that cats had 6 legs? And what if you were right? What if the night sky had an eye that looked like Jesus? A left eye and a right eye full of piety and prayers. What if bears had green fur? And what if all the pears had bears on their backs? Just like that. And what if you were the funny one? What if the sun shone out of your magic behind? And what if behind here was more interesting than what you see? But it's maybe not. Maybe. She was not a baby-producing machine, but what if she was? What if she was a bagel and not a whole? What if she had her soul in her 2 hands? What if we could all band together and make poetry party? And you would look as silly as me, and you wouldn't care. And clearly, that would be something. Nearly, that would be nothing at all. And imagine E.T. Imagine I didn't touch that. Imagine it flew. And what if you could also fly? What if your highest soul could be open like a door to the symphony of stars? What if all our hearts sang together? Can you hear clearly? What if it wasn't pathetic poetry? What if it was really happening? What if the distant crossing between you and me was just particles embossing themselves on each other? What if I was you? Wow. Many me's. Many me's would be more than 3. That would be like... What if quantum physics was a joke, and what if particles spoke to each other like the man down the corridor coming closer, holding his hand backwards? What if it was the end? What if Armageddon came and we were